Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games for another worst ever games video. And yeah, this is one that I have been really looking forward to doing. And yeah, today we are gonna be looking at Lord of the Rings Gollum. Yeah, an absolute train wreck from what I've seen. I will admit it was a game that I actually originally pre-ordered before it came out. And then I think when it was due, just before it was due to be released, I didn't have the money spare for it, so I decided to cancel the pre-order. And then yeah, it turns out that that was one of the best decisions I'd ever made. But yeah, I have been, when I was putting together the list of games that I wanted to include in this series, I saw that this was going to be the PS5 entry. And yeah, I really wanted to get hold of it. It's one that I've been looking forward to playing just to see how bad it is. And actually, just before filming this video as well, I did also get a comment on the video that I put up. Well, it's yesterday as I'm filming it, but a couple of days from when the video goes live. So yeah, it's from Philly6889. And they basically say, Lord of the Rings Gollum, the game that was so bad the entire studio was wiped off the face of the planet. You're in for a treat. So yeah, there's so much around this game. And yeah, I've just been dying to have a go at it. I know that it is probably going to be the worst decision of my life, but I thought, you know what? I've just been dying to play it. I just want to see how bad it is for myself. So what we'll do is let's switch over to the PS5, and I've already got it all installed, ready to go. And yeah, what we'll do is we are going to dive into it. What I will do is I will go into the reviews as sort of after we've played it for a bit. But yeah, looking forward to it. But yeah, from what I've been seeing with this, it is very much, there isn't anything good to say about it. But yeah, as I say, I've seen it plenty of times before where that isn't the case. But I think with this, it probably is, because when I was looking at the I will admit, I just can't get over the Gollum character in this. It just looks awful. But yeah, when I was looking at the reviews, I'll go into a bit more when we get to reviews, but I think the reviews are quite telling with this. So from what I've seen with this is based about 60...
Eyes are marbles, no darkness they see. Faces look garbled, no flurry they feel. No breath, no cheer, death not to fear. Time is not spent, roses has no scent. At nothing you can marvel without me. But it wasn't roses, my precious, not roses. Lilies. Not lilies, not roses. Which one was it, precious? Quiet. Someone's coming.
And a hat and a cage upon his back. We may provide you with a cart. There is no hope for him, I fear. The creature is lost.
Well, let's see how he responds to some light.
Someone tortured him, long before the Dunadan found him. The darkness grows beyond our borders. My people are growing anxious. We cannot let this evil linger among us long enough. We believe that he went to Mordor.
That's what I feared. What did he hope to find, I wonder? Leave us. I want to hear what he has to say.
So yeah, as I was saying, sort of, the actual game is set about 66 years after the
Why don't we start
original
with your
Hobbit
name?
film.
Your real name, not the one others have given you.
Smeagol.
Very well. Let us try someone else's name. Bilbo Baggins. Yes, you remember him. He found you more than 60 years ago, deep underneath the roots of the Misty Mountains. He took something from you. A ring.
My precious.
You were looking for it, weren't you? You left your home in the mountains, worming your way down the hills, always hiding from the moon. You followed the Hobbit's trace all the way east to the Lonely Mountain. But then you stopped and turned south. Why? Something must have drawn you away. A voice calling you to the land of shadow,
Leave us alone.
whispering your name in your dreams.
Not listening.
So, once again, what is your name?
Eagle.
Very well, Smeagol. Now, let us start at the beginning.
Okay, so I'm liking that bit, but I don't know. I think the first bit where you saw Gollum, he was a bit too talkative compared to sort of what it was. And I will admit, my knowledge of Lord of the Rings is purely based off the films. I've not read any of the books or the is it Silmarillion, which is like the Bible that covers like the first and the second age. So I've seen a lot of people say with this that it wouldn't even pass mustard as a PS3 game.
Gollum.
What is going on with the character? Okay. So, looking at it, I'd say that the actual environment looks okay. As I say, I'm not in any way, shape or form a fan of the sort of the Gollum character. Day is near, go back to your cave.
Nothing. Must go back hungry again. Curse this land. Curse it. Tomorrow, my dear, tomorrow we find something nice. And up again.
Camera's a bit janky.
Mountains of Shadow. That is where you are hiding.
Mustn't ask. Why is it asking us questions? Why?
You know why.
It's a long jump again.
Whoops.
It's a long jump again, my precious. Come, he has done it many times. Shadow Mountains. Yes, that's how they called it. The Orcs did.
So you talk to the orcs?
Never. But we have sharp ears, and we listens.
What I will say as well is I am also playing this completely unpatched. So this is essentially all I've done is just installed the disc. I've not done any updates or anything like that.
No precious. The eye, it's always watching.
So far, every time.
Come, the cave. We're almost there.
So yeah, as I was about to say, so far the controllers are fine. There's been a couple of blips with the camera.
Oh, Cliff there. Yes, hiding from the great eye, we thinks. Long gone. When we came, the nasty orc, long dead.
You must have had friends once. A family?
They kicked us, cast us out, cast them all, cast them. It was our birthday. Yes, it was.
Your birthday?
No nice friend, was he, precious? Not tricksing us now, is he? Hmm? No, no. What's the noise? Perhaps she helps us now, the great spider. Perhaps. We both are beasts to eat, yes, and crunchy orcsies, but she doesn't like them much.
So you never left that cave?
Never.
And no one ever saw you?
No one. Nasty bird. It watches us. It spies on us. Catch it, grab it, throttle it.
Bit of wall running.
Filthy little spy. It will tell the wraiths and squeal on us. Dirty little spy. Squeeze it. Yes, squeeze the crooks. And then we eat.
So I know one of the comments a lot of people were saying was about sort of frame rate drop and things like that. So far it's running alright for me. But I will admit a lot of people were saying as well that it can be very repetitive. I can probably agree with that. Right, where am I going now? Here.
He's alive. Of course he's alive, you scum. Did they breed you in a crate? Her ladyship just gave him a sweet kiss.
Cautious now. Less speed. Orcs mustn't see us.
There, see? Right on his neck.
Kissed him, eh?
Probably forgot him, or he'd be off to her larder. Lady doesn't care too much for our sweet flesh and bones.
Isn't that Uthak?
It is, Uthak. It's a pretty new silk. What's the plan, Uthak? Skip the night shift.
Shouldn't we cut him loose, Captain Shagrat?
Leave him hanging, you bugger scum. No good interfering
Really?
with the ladyship's affairs.
What if the lady's still around?
You steps in the cave. When you hear something, you shout and stand your ground. Stop! Game! Back to the tunnel, come on!
They left.
What was that?
And that's how far you ever went into Mordor.
We never left the clouds. Why is it asking us? There it is, the spy. Two of them. Two little croakses. Climbed up too high, didn't we, precious? Not safe here. He mustn't see us. No, not him. His eye sees all, they says. All lands and mountains. He might see baggins. Not him. Not him. Don't speak to him. Don't listen.
Ghost, spy, no matter.
Hide.
Just reporting. Look, boys will know what to do.
They will tell him. He will know. And it's two of them. Follow, but quiet. Stay in the shadows. What about the bird? Forget birds.
I'm telling you, it was that little one. She lost Spider Friend. Haven't seen it for years. I hope her ladyship had sucked it dry. Shouldn't report it. It's always the trouble. Then they send their blood out, and that's never fun.
So I think the problem with this is, so from like literally just the, what, 15, 20 minutes we've been playing so far, it's more of a platformer than anything else. It's not, but I think a lot of people expected it to be the sort of normal sort of action adventure game that the Lord of the Rings games tend to be. And I think that's basically why a lot of people didn't like it. Don't get me wrong, the look of Gollum isn't what I'm used to, and I think that's what it is. It's not that I'm used to it. But from what I've played so far, it's an okay platformer. Yes, it's not probably not worth the. Actually, I think when I was pre-ordering it, it was about a £25 game, 25, 29, something like that. It wasn't massively expensive. All right, so what do I do here? Yeah, thought that would happen. So yeah, it's, I don't know, it's a strange one because
Just reporting. Look, boys will know what to do.
They will tell him. He will know. And it's two of them. Follow, but quiet. Stay in the shadows. What about the bird? Forget birds.
I'm telling you, it was that little one. She lost Spider Friend. Haven't seen it for years. I hope her ladyship had sucked it dry. Shouldn't report it. It's always the trouble. Then they send their blood out, and that's never fun.
I see. There's a ledge around the edge there.
Open up! Who's there?
So they never caught you? Then why are there torture marks on your hands?
It's only scars.
No, not that way. Okay, tell you what, let's pause it there. I will be quite honest. I don't understand why it's got so much hate. It is, and don't get me wrong, I've only literally played what you've seen. So what you've seen is my entire experience of Lord of the Rings Gollum. But yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. Nowhere near as bad as what everyone's saying about it. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Because, as I say, going into it knowing that it was a platformer, it pretty much it's doing exactly what it says on the tin. As I say, I know a lot of people have reported having performance issues with it. For me, it was running sweet as a nut. So whether it be once I get to sort of the later parts of the game that I'll start getting issues, possibly. But from what I've seen at the moment, yeah, I think it's an okay game. Obviously, at this stage, there's nothing apart from traversing the levels. There's nothing else in it, really. So there's nothing to collect or anything like that as you're going through. I once again, don't know if you can start picking up things sort of as you go through the levels. But yeah, as I say, sort of it wasn't a bad game from what I've seen so far. I'm going to put a bit more time into it as well. But yeah, definitely not as bad as what I was expecting. And definitely not as bad as I think a lot of the reviews are putting across. But what we'll do is let's have a look at a couple of those reviews. So to start off with, the game itself has a Metacritic score of 33 out of 100 and a user score of 1.4. Now, a 1.4 I think is probably the lowest user score that we've had on this series so far. And yeah, I personally, I wouldn't give it that. But let's have a look at some of the actual reviews that we've had. So looking at the critics' reviews first, the first review that we had is the best review, and that's from Metro Game Central. Broken beyond belief, but also fundamentally... Sorry, this is the worst... No, sorry, this is the worst one. Broken beyond belief, also a fundamentally bad idea for a video game with insanely shallow and repetitive gameplay. Gollum is not only the worst mainstream game of the year, but of the last 2 generations. And they gave it a 10 out of 100. And then the best score was 70 out of 100 from Digital Chumps. Just like Gollum, I'm a bit split. Lord of the Rings Gollum features a great story that adds to the lore, along with terrific stealth systems, but it misses the mark on other areas. A finicky and redundant platforming system mixed with a dialogue system that lacks bite makes for a combination that drags the rest down. Gollum is always so close to the ring, but ever so far. So, yeah, I would probably agree with the second review. I don't think the platforming was bad. I thought it was all right. It worked. It wasn't overly complex, and yeah, you could traverse the levels. Like, you think I'd literally, as soon as you're picking it up, you're pretty much traversing the levels quite easily. I don't think the difficulty is going to be there. I definitely think it's going to be one that you can just sort of blitz through, and yeah, you'll be all right with that. But moving on to the user scores. So the best score that we got, and I will admit I am a bit, how should we say? I'm going to take my headphones off. With the user scores, definitely the best scores, I'm a bit cynical about. Yeah, don't actually think that they're real scores, but I'll show you why in a sec. So the first user score that we've got is obviously the best score, and that was 10 out of 10. Not a lot to say, guys. This is one of the most polished, awe-inducing, mouth-watering stories I've ever partaken in. I've had the most smeagling time playing this game. Okay. But I have actually included another one of the sort of 10 out of 10 scores. And this one says, Masterpiece, Game of the Year 2023. Better than Elden Ring, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and other overrated games. Now, I don't know. That review, those 2 reviews just scream studio desperation. Now, I'm probably completely off base with that, but as I was reading them, I'm like, this sounds like devs at the studio just trying to up their game in the ratings. But I will admit, it made absolutely zero difference because, yeah, the 0 scores were immense. The most I've ever seen for a game. That's why I'm actually quite shocked with what my experience is compared to what a lot of other people's experiences have been. I think as soon as you got through, I think there was something like 30 odd positive reviews, 23 middle, and then all the others, it was like 340 odd, I think it was, were all negative, and pretty much all of the ones that I saw, well, I'd say a good probably 60 to 70% of those negative reviews were all 0 scores. So one of the ones that I picked out was this one. The game really captures what it is to be the actual character Gollum. Sad, ugly, and something nobody wants around. Congrats on this studio for creating a true Gollum experience by being worse than a literal pile of orc something. Yeah, I can see where they're coming from about it sort of being ugly, just from the character perspective. The Gollum character, I don't know. I think for me it's the hair. I think as I was watching one of the cutscenes there, I think it was the hair that makes it look even worse than what it is. But I think the world in itself actually looks really good. But I think any of the actual characters within there are just bad. Even the orcs, they just looked like blokes that had their faces painted. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, this. It is one, I will admit though, it is one that I am going to put a bit more time into, because I'm actually quite intrigued by this game now. More so than I was to start with, because yeah, it was, I'll tell you what, let me switch to the other screen. If I can find my mouse, that is. So yeah, it is definitely better than I was expecting. Now, obviously, I went into this not expecting a lot at all, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know how to sort of take this one, because, as I say, I was expecting it to be truly awful, to have awful gameplay, awful performance, and awful sort of visuals. And while some of the visuals aren't great, the gameplay I thought was okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I don't know what's going on. It's middle of the afternoon as well. It's not like it's late at night. But yeah, I personally, from what I've played of it so far, I'd probably say 6 out of 10. And I think the bits that sort of from what I've seen so far that let it down are the actual character models. I think they just don't look right. Obviously, there is references for the Lord of the Rings stuff, so there isn't really any excuse for it not to at least feel right. I think that's probably the best way. Obviously, they're not going to, unless they've bought, they've got the rights to various things. Obviously, the way that Gollum looks in the film is going to be licensed to, is it New Line? So they are going to hold the license for how that character looks. So they would have had to license the New Line version of Gollum for it to look like that. And then obviously, if they wanted the character models to look more like the actors they're portraying, then they would have had to license then. So I can see why they've gone the route they have. But yeah, I just don't think, I don't know. I think, as I said during the gameplay, it's because it doesn't look like what I'm used to. I think that's why it's a bit sort of disconcerting for me. And I think the other thing that makes me sort of knock it down as well a bit is Gollum's actual dialogue. So right at the very beginning, there was a long sort of diatribe coming from Gollum, and it just doesn't fit with the character, if that makes sense. So if you go back to like the Lord of the Rings, for example, or the Hobbit films, when Gollum's talking, or Smeagol, or whatever you want to call him, what he's saying is always very condensed, is probably the right word to use. There's not these long diatribes that we had and that we've had sort of in the gameplay that we've played. So yeah, I think that is a bit of a sort of departure from the character as well. But yeah, I personally, I don't see why it's got so much hate. I do think it is probably centered around. It's just not what people were expecting. I think they were expecting a Lord of the Rings game that fit in with the film, looked like the film, and yeah, it just wasn't going to be that. But yeah, as I say, sort of like, I really enjoyed this. More so, a lot more than I thought I would. So yeah, I think we... Yeah, it is. I don't know. I'm really torn with this because, as I say, I've read all the reviews. I was going into it with zero expectations. Actually, probably more on the lines that I was going to be heavily regretting playing this. But I didn't. I actually enjoyed what I played. Now, yeah, as I say, I am going to play it a bit more. And if my opinion changes on that, then I will let you all know. I'll put out another video. But as it stands at the moment, yeah, I think 6 out of 10. It's not great. It's not perfect, so should I say. But it's also not as bad as I think a lot of people are saying. So, yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Have you played this game? And if you have, what were your thoughts on it? I would actually really like to hear all your opinions on this. Because, yeah, I don't know... Yeah, I just feel like I'm out on an island on my own. That, yeah, I've got, my opinion is very different from anyone else's. So yeah, if you have played this, let me know, because I would generally be interested to see what everyone's opinion on this is. But yeah, with that said, I am going to wrap the video up there. But before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.